Well, that didn't go as planned, did it?
God damn, I'm glad y'all set it off. Too hard, now you just went soft.
You know, Phil gave us the heads up on what he was going to do for the intro, but it was way more funnier than when we actually did it. If I feel, I must say, I had tip of the cap to you, sir. That was that's not what I was expecting, even though it went exactly how you said it was going to go.
I look, buddy. I did theater in high school. I mean, I know how to bring the drama.
Oh, welcome to the chat. Yam says roadkill skunk stinks from miles away. Ryan Elias welcomes in here talking about Bucks get a pick and immediately fumble. And Yam says it looks like someone farted, but no one wants to claim it with those expressions on your faces.
You're right. 53 men and a bunch of coaches farted yesterday for 60 minutes.
Yes.
Podcast where 40-something-year-old men are listening to fart noises.
That's right. Alexa.
I'm proud of each one of those farts. Proud of every one of those farts.
Oh, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in to an episode of Command This. This is episode 219. We're calling this There Are No Words, but clearly we're going to have a lot of words. Little shell shocked from the 37-3 loss. That was your boy Phil in the intro. We got Dev down below who's doing all the music. Shout out to Dev. His link to his Spotify music channel will be down in the description after this show ends. I'm your guy, Steve. Welcome to Command This. Like I said, episode 219. Let's get on with the show. All right. So not the best showing that we've seen from this team in a long time. I even got the score wrong. It's 37-3. So my apologies. These things are already, I made these a long time ago. So error on me. And I didn't. So it's going to be wrong for all of them, by the way. Disclaimer. I know it was 37-3. I did make these at 12:30 last night, so you can sue me for it, but sit back and enjoy. So we're going to recap the game a little bit. We're going to go over a little bit of what we like to call a little bit of film review here, and but yeah, 37-3, fellas. Not a fun way to, by any means, enjoy the game yesterday. Just opening and initial thoughts.
Yikes.
Everything sucked. Everything sucked. The weather sucked. The fans not showing up sucked. The team sucked. The coaching sucked. Everything sucked. God. I mean, and after the Denver game, we're down 16-0 at halftime. After the Denver game, I'm like, it's okay. We'll make the adjustments in the second half.
Spirits are
high. Thing we did in the Denver. We did the same thing we did in the Denver game, where we're moving the ball, but we're just not converting it into points. No, we decided instead of a quarter and a half of that, it's gonna see. Look, I'm so mad. My computer's just. This is what my brain looked like by the third quarter, completely blurred. But from day one, from minute one of the third quarter, I'm like, what happened? Why are we not getting points? Why are we not progressing beyond their 30? What's going on? Why is Sam Howell still getting sacked? Why is Andrew Wiley decided that he is going to give up life as a human being and become a stadium turnstile for you to pass through? Why? There's so many questions, and they all come back to why. Not how, but why.
Why? Ben Harlow says, F the Bills. Man, I want to say that, but man, They waxed our asses. Just terrible. But at least you weren't Denver. That's true. 70-20. And yeah. The Dolphins did have an opportunity to beat our record of 73 points, but they chose to take knees. And you know what? They were doing everything in their power to not score. They had the third stringers in, and they were still just running the ball and scoring. I was like, oh my gosh. Like Mike McDaniel, he was trying not to score, and they just kept scoring. So you're right. It could be worse. We could be Denver. All Sean Payton did was talk shit about that team in the offseason, and it's his team now, and look at him. look at
Sean Payton.
Didn't he blame the last coach?
May be the most overrated coach to ever win a Super Bowl. I hate
Barry
Sean
Switzer.
Payton. I loved sticking it to him last week.
Barry Switzer?
No. Barry Switzer won national championships at Oklahoma, at least.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but then he just took over a Jimmy Johnson team, right? And isn't that
John
what
Gruden?
John Gruden did it with Dungy? So it's
I don't care because everybody gives Sean Payton like God status. I'm like, okay,
I'm telling you,
what do you ever do without
Drew Brees?
Drew Brees and Michael Thomas and Devery Henderson and
still there. They ain't doing
Lance Moore and just rattle off the names and all the talent that was on that team.
That Nakia dude is cold for the Rams, by the way.
You mean the wide receiver, Puka?
Yeah, that dude is nice.
Yeah, he's nice. Yam says, OMG, all the fans that sold their tickets to Bills fans. I saw so many people posting pics of all the blue and white in the stands. Here we go again. But Yam, I'm not gonna get upset yet until I see that happen on a sunny blue sky day. Yes, it sucks. And you know what else sucks? I saw this on one of the Facebook. I'm in a group where you have to get verified to get tickets or sell tickets. And someone said, I saw a bunch of Bills fans who were given gold access. So it means they didn't have a ticket fee and they got access to the free food and alcohol. But that's not, I think it just comes with the ticket. The team needs to do something to where if I resell this, I have the option to unclick the gold and then you you get the ticket fees and you don't get free food. Like that needs to be optional. Because if that's the case, that pisses me off. Right? You should have the option to.
What pisses you off about that more than anything is it pisses you off that the Bills got to eat free food?
It pissed me off that their fans get to get our season ticket holder treatment.
Oh, so they're buying
the
season tickets and getting
from someone's reselling season tickets, and it comes with free food, free drink, in some cases free alcohol if you buy the certain seats like the mesh seats, the balcony seats, but you get no ticket fees and you get access to all that free stuff in the club level. It's kind of, I know that a lot of people can't control that.
And people wonder why I get mad with our fans.
But I'm not going to knock someone for saying, well, I'm just going to eat this $500 or I'm going to make $500. I get it. It sucks, but
6 million people in the DMV. 6 million people. You can't find one that will go.
That's the problem. At least sell it to a known person. You know what I mean? In 10 years, we never sold to an opposite team member once.
If you're like,
season tickets,
no, I'll just put it up on StubHub.
How do you know you didn't know?
Because we always knew we never ran it. We never sold it on Craigslist. We never sold it on Mark. You know what I mean? Like we always knew like it traded physically because we had paper tickets back then, right? It was not digital. So you had to give them to somebody. So or we just ate them.
Lazy, entitled suburbanites, these Ashburn people in their McMansions just can't be bothered to go find out their neighbor's a fan. No one's going to throw it on StubHub. I don't care. I get my money back. Now I make a profit on it.
I don't take it as personal. Like I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I feel like maybe if I'm closer to going to a Louisville game, so like if I knew somebody had season tickets to a Louisville game and they gave the UK fans and they was eating all the Louisville treats up, I'd probably be like, man, that's crazy.
Yeah,
but I don't know, man.
Some people just want the money. That's just it is what it is.
I'm in that camp. I would just want the money.
And Jesus, are we the only fan base that the minute it rains, no one comes?
I don't know. Like I do know
it feels like that.
A lot of these Bills fans, though, these tickets were bought over the summer. They were not bought in the last week.
I don't buy that
I
many
totally
Bills
buy that.
fans bought tickets.
Now, I guarantee there's a lot of last minute sales that happened in the last 5 days because people saw weather and they were like,
I'd love to see the numbers. I'll bet you it was 15,000.
It could be. I mean,
It was
they
a
sold.
sellout.
They
I like how it was a sellout. It was suddenly a sellout, and I got a little suspicious.
64K out of 67K. Don't quote me. 64 plus showed up.
32,000 of that 64 were Bills fans.
So, yeah.
Oh.
Let's get some comments here. Ben Harless says that was Sweating Young 5.0. Couldn't secure the edges. Correct. We'll get into that. Bills are a good team from I'm not mad at them. Kurt Cabot on Facebook. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. It seems as right when we're getting good a pattern with the run game, we threw it and put it away. Yes, we will talk about that here very shortly. Yam says, mad at some of their fans. A bunch were jumping into Commanders vlogs and chats and such. Like that kind of behavior is fatherless. They do it on Spaces a lot, but usually it's semi-respectful. We do it after the Giants game. I was in Giants Spaces galore just to hear what they're talking about. And they're still like, we're still a good team. Daniel Jones is a great quarterback. And I was like, all right, I'm good. You guys are delusional. Just say you suck and move on like we did. Like in our Spaces, we weren't like, we're still a great team. People are like, nope, we got our asses handed to us. We suck today. Let's see.
If you win, I think you deserve to talk shit.
Unless you have a noodle arm spaz at quarterback, there's no loyalty to any players on this team.
Yeah,
right.
I swear.
Hey, I'm telling you though, if you lose, you deserve to get your ass. You deserve the shit they talk to you, man.
Yeah,
so if you want to jump in somebody's space and talk shit, hey man, you won, you deserve it.
Yeah. DM says, want to know how many other teams, content creators, Twitter threads, Facebook pages I go to? 0. I go to them if they're our friends, like they've been on the show, just to show respect and love. Spaces I hop in just to see what the fan base is talking. I don't participate. I just listen. And those Giants fans were delusional, especially the host. He was getting mad at everyone for saying that they sucked. And then he would like mute their mic and kick him out. I was like, dude, come on. Cody Jones on Facebook. What up, boys? Rivers Reese joined and say, what's up, guys? Just joined in. Thank you for joining us, sir. We're about to break all the stuff down here in a second. Ben said, I'll be up front. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm going to hold the enemy to this. And you should. The scheme was not good. Went away from the run when it was working, just like the first 2 games. It's just this third game, we weren't able to pick it back up. One-dimensional offense. How many rushing attempts did Washington have yesterday? We were going to talk about that here in a second because that was my big beef with all that stuff was the run-to-pass ratio. I want to say at halftime it was 8-6. We had no offense. We weren't on the field. It's just all right. Mark is jumping in saying, what up, family? Please go check out Marcus's Sports View 2 group on Facebook. So, yeah, Greg Delaney from Facebook said Washington has to get Dotson involved in the offense. He does. It was hard to get anyone involved in the offense, actually. Ben said 13. I looked that shit up right now, 13. Well, I want to say we had 6 at halftime. So we got 7 in the second half. So 6 in the first, 7 in the second. Man. Okay. We lost 37-17. I'm going to hit the numbers.
We lost 37-3.
Sorry. And we'll hit some film here. We had Sam Howell was 19 of 29. The Bills were 20 of 32. Josh Allen. We averaged 3.3 yards per pass, 9 sacks for us. Getting sacked. Josh Allen was sacked 0 times. 45 yards lost to sacks. 4 INTs by Sam, and we got 1 against Josh Allen. We only punted 3 times because we had all those turnovers. Only 2 penalties, bright spot. 1 fumble loss. Time of possession, 34-39 to 25-21. So you take away the turnovers, you could just be like, they didn't score as many points off turnovers as I thought they would have. I want to say in the third quarter, it was still only 3 points off turnovers, even though we had turned the ball over, 4 times at that point, maybe 5.
Three by the third quarter.
Yeah. So they were just scoring. But let's get in a little bit of film review here. We're going to watch a couple things that we like to show. I think we'll start off with a 30-yard pass to Stephon Diggs. Let's start with that. So just to open up the game, it was a little bit of back and forth. Let's get into the.
Mind you, this is 3rd and long, people.
Let's get into the environment.
And the defense, I'll tell you, our defense was great until 3rd down.
Yeah. So this is the third and long play to Stephon Diggs. Let's check it out. Watch him on the right hand side. It's in dark blue, and this is just a great play. Look, Montez comes at him. Oh, Josh Allen rolls right, hits him in stride. Bam. I mean, that's a pretty good play.
That was, I mean, if you look, I mean, you know, Forbes is with him, and he's with Diggs. I mean, Diggs is one of the 3 best receivers in the league. But
yeah,
dive at his ankles or something.
Right.
Take him down.
Yep. Ben said 8.1 yards per rush, 5 more rushing yards per attempt compared to passing, and defense did well considering. Yeah. The next video I would like to show everyone. Let's look at Sam Howell's first interception. Okay, we're going to break down all 4 of these bad boys, and we're going to look at and see where can we find out what went wrong. Was it him? Was it the line breakdown? But you know what? Let's talk about it. Ready? Here we go. The ball snapped. Sam steps up, and I want to say that's Bernard. Is that Bernard?
It was Leonard.
Leonard. Yeah. Sorry, get my
your ARDs mixed up.
ARDs mixed up. But yes.
All right. So back that up to right when he throws.
Back it up.
Pause it.
Pause. Hold up. Okay.
Now, mind you, he just let go of the ball. Sadiq Charles' man has already gotten past Charles and is in Sam's face. But Sam does a good job of standing in the pocket and trying to deliver this ball. Problem is that you got to remember that Leonard made a leaping interception on this one. He was trying to get over Dotson's face. If he doesn't time this leap as well as he does, it gets over his head and into Dotson's hands.
The De'Ami Brown. This one.
De'Ami Brown. I'm sorry, not Dotson.
Yeah. That was in the end zone.
That one was wide open. You got
this is Terrell Bernard. This is the very first one.
Dotson didn't get open until after the ball was out of his hands, though. I mean, if you look, Dotson's bracketed between 2 safeties.
Go a little bit. Right there. Throw it the flat area.
Right there. So this is yes, Dev. You're absolutely right. So he had John Bates in the flat here, and he had Antonio Gibson in the flat. This is what he has to learn. But look at the line. It was look at the matchup. How many people?
I think they don't. I think McLaurin was going to beat him 1-on-1. That was 1-on-1 on the left.
It was 5-on-4, and they didn't blitz anyone, and they got beat.
But look on the left. McLaurin was probably going to beat that guy.
He
could have probably led it to him on the left. Look,
right
gone. Like look on the left. 17. Got him.
Yep.
But if you look, Leonard's having to backtrack to get to that too. So he probably thought he was going to get the ball over Leonard. And that Leonard wasn't going to get back and leap and time that so well. I see what he sees there.
Man,
he had some guys in the flat,
or he threw it up to Dotson.
He was trying to make a play.
Nah, he should do it. If you was trying to make a play, you should do it up 1-on-1 with McLaurin on the left, or up top to Dotson up there inside the 5-yard line. Or
this was third down. This was third down. He was going for a first.
He was. But Ben gets it right, I think. As much as I dislike Gibson, that's a great one-on-one. And we can Monday morning quarterback this all day. Yeah. But Gibson probably would have beat 58. Terry,
by the way, this is,
I don't know,
3rd and 19.
This was a guess.
That still takes you from a field goal to an interception, though. That's in field goal range. You catch 5-yard pass, man.
It was not the best read, but I see what he saw there.
You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
That's right. Just like Kenny Rogers says. Yeah. Okay, let's look at Sam's first sack of the game. We're not going to look at all of them. I just want to look at the first.
God, we'd be here forever.
Yeah, all 9 of them. Okay, ready?
1, 1,000, 2, 1,000.
Bernard comes in again, untouched. Okay, on a linebacker blitz. Hard for the line to see that, but remember, one of the defensive tackles, I forget who was after the game, said, listen, all we wanted to do was show him different looks. It's going to happen. He goes, it just happens with young quarterback. You just show them different looks and you confuse them. And that's what they did. Watch.
Use our line too, apparently.
Untouched.
1, 1,000, 2, 1. See, by 2 seconds, Leonard's on him.
Yeah. And
when I hear this thing of he holds the ball too long, I'm like, what do you want him to do?
And Gibson picks up, I don't know if he picks up the wrong protection, but watch slowly.
I know
Picked up 58.
Gibson picked up
91
58, but everybody we had
They're
4
bunched up.
guys blocking
guard
3
fucked it up.
on their
That
end.
looked like that
No
might
one
have been
picked.
on guard.
But look at the coverage. Nobody was open except he could have hit Jahan. Maybe
I'm saying,
like,
you got one-on-one though with a
No,
player.
but
You should throw it up in the air to him, dog.
Yeah, and
That's
if he gets picked, we talk about how it was a poor throw and
Well,
he
he
should have
got
never
four
thrown that and
anyways,
just eat the
so.
sack and all that
Yeah.
good stuff. That's what happens.
Marcus says Sam Howell needs to take what the defense gives him. He can't hold the ball long. I'd rather have him be 10 for 35 with no interceptions.
We don't
Just
move
throw it
the pocket
away.
a lot either,
Like, look at Brady. If he has a clock, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, nobody out of bounds. And I'm not comparing him to Brady. I'm just saying, like,
Brady's got 6 4-interception games in his career.
just throw the ball away. Jason Donaway, thank you for joining us. Says Phillips. I forget. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Actually, I don't know what he's referencing with Phillips.
I don't know either.
Okay, let's look at the second interception that he had in the game. I don't have a timestamp on this one, but I'll get it as soon as we start. And go.
Damn, man. Yeah.
This was on the second drive. So this was end of the first quarter. This was Micah Hyde on the left. Ready? One more time.
Right, man, right in his face already.
Yes.
No one picked up the outside.
So let's focus on the number 57.
85.
Okay, let's focus on 57. Untouched.
What's 76 doing, man?
I mean,
Cosby is trying to come over and pick up the blitzer because he had
Leno got a slide. Leno got a slide, and the guard and Weston got a slide.
And here's the thing: the only man who came over was Cosby. No one else did their job.
Right. Look at that.
It looked like it probably was a bad offensive line.
Unless
call.
Gibson,
Sam Cosby's a right guard. He should not be trying to do the left tackle's job.
Can't tell if Gibson was supposed to chip on his way out, but that was tough. And look how fast.
Yeah, that's the way I thought.
Pursues.
In real time, he's supposed to chip him. I wonder if he's supposed to option that inside too. Maybe that looked like he cut that inside like an angle. That's first down.
Yeah, and I mean, hard to say, but he could have tossed it over Bates, or Cole Turner down the seam in the middle, but. Once again, Bernard was just sitting there.
That play was. I'm telling you, that play was designed for Gibson the whole way. Yeah. That's why he immediately looked there and threw. That play was designed because it was short gain to first down. The idea was to get the ball to Gibson out in the flat and let him make some plays. He wouldn't have made that throw with a defender barreling down right in front of him and trying to get through the defender. He wouldn't have done that throw if it was, if it wasn't designed that way.
Yeah. This next one, let's get back to the defense here. This is Josh Allen's first touchdown, going back just a few minutes, but this is in the end of the first quarter to 35-yard touchdown pass to, I want to say, Gabe Davis, if I'm not mistaken. So let's watch and see if we can find a defensive breakdown.
Got the thing over.
Let's rewind that.
No pressure.
No pressure. Steps up, clean pocket. Bam.
Wide the fuck open.
Look at the offensive line. If they only rush 4, right? And Montez goes back into coverage for whatever reason. Don't ask me why. It's timeout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 defenders on 2 people. 2 people versus 7 defenders.
Hey, actually, go back for a second. I want to see his formation.
Stephon Diggs goes in motion. So
we're running a 5-man. We're running a 5-man nickel package. 5-man front on nickel package. 5-1-5. Is this defensive setup, right? And so Defoe is trying to maintain inside leverage.
Yep.
But he's giving Davis too much room to work to move to the outside.
Look at defensive alignment. So they doubled John Allen.
That was smart to run out there on Diggs.
They doubled John Allen. They doubled Deron Payne. They put Chase 1-on-1, and they put, was it 91? Was that Two-Hill or Ridgeway? I can't remember.
Well,
Chase is covering Diggs.
Chase ran with the screen because he saw the screen coming around.
91.
Yeah.
It's either
That's Ridgeway.
That's Ridgeway.
And then Montez drops back in the cover. So look at that. Double on Allen, double on Payne, single on Chase.
No, Chase is playing the wide receiver.
So this was a designed 3-man rush. where the ends drop out into coverage in the flats. Was that how it was designed?
I'm guessing perhaps.
One,
like
two,
a cover 6, cover 7.
and still shit. Yeah, man. Yeah, tough.
No,
tough.
Chase made the right call because nobody was out there on digs otherwise.
Yeah, Marcus said it. That looked like a lot of max protection out there.
Yeah, they were. I mean, look,
Yeah,
you
they
had
definitely line
at
up
least
two tight ends a
two.
lot.
You had 2 defensive linemen double teamed at any given time in that game.
Yep. And Ryan said that's just a dot to Gabe. It was a great pass, great catch. That, you know what? The Bills are a top 5 team. They're projected to be in the top 5. They're projected to go all the way to the AFC Championship. Not mad. I just want to be. This was our first true test, and you just want to be competitive against those teams. Not even expect to win. I mean, we'll talk about predictions here in a second. We'll have to bring those back up. Okay, we are on Sam's third interception, if I'm not mistaken. We got one more to go, and then we'll look at some charts, and then we'll move on. All right, this is INT numero trace. I'll keep this down here, actually. Ready? And this one occurred, let's see here. Number 2 was in the second quarter. In the third quarter, we were on a 10-play, 68-yard drive. So if you remember, Sam had made a fantastic, I'll just read the drive off real quick. Brian Robinson rushed to the right for 4, incomplete pass. We got a first down on a 3rd and 6 illegal contact. 1 yard pass to Terry. Gibson ran for 4. Gibson passed for 10 yards. Sam Howell passed to Jahan for 6. B-Rob ripped off a 23-yard gain on that one. And then Gibson ran to the right for 13. And then Sam Howell was intercepted by Tre'Davious White. So, Phil, this is the first interception you were referencing where White just made like one of the best interceptions I've seen in a really, really long time. Props to him. He deserved this one.
And props to the Buffalo defense because they hit – because Sam was hit and he couldn't follow through on the ball either.
Yeah, let's watch this.
Now watch here. Pause.
Pause.
Before we go further. Watch 71.
71. Right
on our
side.
team. That's
Right side.
Andrew Wiley. Now watch this.
That's where he just goes in and out and shakes shot, dude.
Whoop. And we would show the live footage, but of course we would get copyright stricken.
It's right there. He never touches the guy.
Key in on Andrew Wiley on the right against number 90, like Phil was saying. Look at this. Untouched.
Never touched the guy.
At least Lucas. Sorry. Leno did his job and he pushed the pocket to the outside so Sam could step up, but there was nowhere to step up because number 90 was all up in his joint.
And he hit him right as he was going to follow through, so it caused the ball to loft a little bit.
He laid him out, and then so let's look at where everyone's covered. So
he probably could have got to that if he had just
Terry's covered. Gibson is open in the flat, or you just just chuck it to the right out of bounds. You know what I mean?
Well,
you don't got to hit the home run.
One would have been the one underneath,
or you could have thrown it low to Jahan down the middle. Yeah.
That would have been one. Everything else is covered.
But you see, that's a 50-50 ball if he doesn't get hit. In fact, it's probably not because the ball doesn't hang up. So White doesn't have the time to cut that.
Yeah. Jay Nash watching from Facebook.
If anything, it's an incompletion.
Thank you for watching, Jay. Says we got to get back on track. Hashtag HTTC. That's right, brother.
But I'd love to see how many sacks they credit Wiley for giving up because I counted 4.
Yeah, I think it should be out tomorrow, the PFF grades. And
I got 2 for sure.
Marcus says, I agree with B. Mitch. He said Buffalo didn't play great, but we made too many mistakes. EB has to be more balanced. Yep, agreed. Okay, so that was Sam's third INT. Let's go on to his fourth INT, and this should be the last video we pull up, and then a couple charts, then we'll just move on to the rest of the shizzo. All right. Here we go. Sam's fourth interception. And just for frame of reference, this one comes in the fourth quarter.
And we are down 30-0, I think.
I'm sorry. Still in the third quarter.
Oh.
No. Wait.
No, it's fourth.
Fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter.
Yeah, this one is the pick 6 by AJ Epeniza. Ready? And... oh, let me get this out of the way and go. Oh, let me kill the sound. Sorry. My production quality. There we go. Sam steps up and whoop. That was a
That makes
those
it
who
look
missed
so
it.
much worse than it was.
That was a jump. I mean, he just didn't loft it high enough.
Yeah.
It was this one, like Phil said about Tre'Davious White. This was just a great play by the linebacker. He just jumped up and snagged it out of the air. Let's look at the coverage here. Let's focus on the coverage while we break this one down.
He was trying to bait the backer for
He was
sure.
already running left, so he couldn't throw across the field back to Gibson unless this is Madden. He was just trying to, loft it over to get to Jahan. He could have pump faked it, kept running, took a hit, but he just, this is a tough one. Just a tough one. But look, let's look at the pass pro. How was the pass pro? So the pocket wraps around him. He does step up. He's getting
He found
pursued.
a running lane.
He did find a running lane. He could have
throwing that to McLaurin underneath would have been better choice, man.
Yeah,
coming back to the
McLaurin's
ball.
not even underneath. McLaurin's way up.
I'm saying, but he could have came back. He was coming back. So he's coming back to the ball.
He had the right on top of the W right here. Like
that was a deep. That's a deep cross right there.
Yeah, that's a straight shot.
But that's a hard throw to make when you're moving left. To then try to throw it because you got to throw right to do that. That's a hard throw to make on a bullet. It would hang up there.
I just don't think he thought
the easier throw ended up being a hard throw for him. So
yeah, I just don't think he knew that linebacker was going to make that. I didn't think he was going to make it. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. That's a clown. If the Broncos hadn't have got beat so bad, that would be on like Shaq and the Fool.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. What can you do?
Not throw an interception.
Not throw.
Yourself. That's what you would not do. So,
Quick score check here. The Eagles are beating the Bucs 20-3 going into the third. Rams are beating Cincinnati 6-3. All right, real quick, let's just look at the charts here. And the point I want to make here, looking at these charts, I'm going to show here. This is Sam Howell's passing chart from week 2. Okay, let's look at his week 2 chart first. Look at the line of scrimmage is blue. Look where all his balls were thrown.
Balls.
Sorry, I could not do it. I couldn't resist it. Sorry.
He's in that short to intermediate range.
That is correct.
A lot of screens.
Lots of screens. So I'm wondering, was Buffalo? Do you think Buffalo was just keyed in on the screens the way they were playing coverage? All the coverage,
when it worked.
All the film we just watched. Do we think that the coverage they were playing prevented us from throwing screens? I don't think they did. It should have. Nothing that they showed me that we just watched on that film says, "Oh, no screen pass."
We didn't run that many screens.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was trying to justify why Eric Bieniemy would not run screens, because it worked last week. Gibson was phenomenal and B-Rob was phenomenal on screens, and we didn't run them. This is week 2. Okay. Now look at week 3. All right. You saw week 2. Look at week 3 now. Line of scrimmage, 3 balls behind the line of scrimmage. So I don't think those are all screens. I think only 2 of those were screens, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of his balls were in the middle of the field and up the sidelines, but just a complete different game plan between week 2 and week 3. And he only missed 10 balls, and of those 10, 4 were intercepted. So six misses. But still, man, it's just frustrating because you want to see the coaches put the players, in position to be successful. I'm not blaming EB all of it. Sam's responsible too. He's got to be smarter and get rid of it quicker. His clock is just slow. His internal clock is slow. He's just trying to make it happen. Just live to fight another day and stop taking hits, kid. Please stop taking hits. That scramble you made for 23 was beautiful, but go down feet first. I think he took a shot to the back of the head, and I thought he looked woozy getting up for.
He hurt his hand.
Okay, it was hard to tell, but bro, it's a 17-game season.
So left hand didn't throw any interceptions.
Yeah.
So it'd be hard.
Clearly. Dev with the zinger. All right. Let's get back. So that's the end of the film, as we like to call it. That was our little film review. And the recap. So 37-3, like I said, ignore the score on the chart here. It is wrong. I know that. let's get into Overreaction Monday, everyone. So if you're still listening here, thank you much. We appreciate it. Put your Overreaction Monday downstairs in the chat room down there, and we're going to go over it real quick. So, Phil, we'll start with you. What is your Overreaction Monday?
I'm going to reference a classic comedy album called No Cure for Cancer by one Dennis Leary.
Okay.
And he had a song that he performed at the end, and it goes, "Everything is awful."
Is that the spinoff that they made in the Lego movie that Everything is Awesome?
No.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
The fact that you
don't
watched
think
the
they
Lego
were
movie.
listening to that comedy album. But anyway, everything is awful. The fan base doesn't show up. Oh, they showed up for opening day and said, "Well, we done our job." Everything sucks. Everything's awful. Everybody's got to get fired except for Bieniemy for some reason. Apparently that performance on Sunday, that coaching job warrants him getting the head coach's position. Don't know where that came from, but I saw that a lot on social media. The fan base, who's next to come into our house? Is it Philly?
We go to Philly.
Okay. Who's the next team that's going to come into our house?
We must protect this house.
Cowboys.
Let's see. Next week we go to Philly, and then we come back home for Chicago, which should be a layup.
Okay.
Should be redemption. It should be redemption.
We're going to become Soldier Field East, and it's going to be 50% Bears fans, which I don't realize how if that exists, but apparently it must, because anytime, unless it's 65 or higher and sunny. See, if it's below 65 or if it's cloudy or if there's a couple drops on the beltway, we can't go. We'll just sell our tickets online. We don't know who we're selling them to. That game felt so Snyder-esque. I thought we were beyond that, people. You said, when I say you, I'm talking about the fans who ran their mouths. I will not give another dime to Dan Snyder. Well, you're not giving a dime to Josh Harris either, apparently, because you're just not showing out.
Yeah, I guess so.
It sounded like a damn home game for the Bills. Don't do it again. Get out of these bad habits, people. If you're not going to the game, find a neighbor, find someone at work, and you give the tickets to them. Yeah. 6 million people in a DMV. We can't find 60,000 that will go to a game.
Well, 3 million are Cowboys fans, probably. So I'll put it that way.
My thing is we're back to square one. We are back to square one.
That's fair. That's why it's an overreaction. All right, Deb, what do you got? What's your overreaction?
My overreaction is that we were good. But this ain't nothing. That's my overreaction.
Okay.
But I think it could be something.
See, Phil, Ryan was thinking the same thing I was when you said everything is awesome. I mean, awful. I was thinking everything is awesome. Everything is cool.
You know, we got little kids on here.
That's right.
I have everything's awful. Everything sucks.
Okay. The sky's falling. Even when the sky is falling. Our boy Chad from Bills, Bets, and Beers. We had him on our show last week. We were on his show last week. Shout out to Chad Cooper. If you're watching it, please go check him out on YouTube. He said brutal loss, but rather have it earlier to force a wake-up call than later in the season. All love, guys. Plus Dallas and Giants game lost this week as well. That's right. Dallas lost to the Cardinals, who a lot of their fans were taking away credit from our win, saying, you guys lost to the Cardinals, the worst team in the NFL.
And we didn't even lose to the Cardinals.
And the Giants are just the Giants, That's true. Super Chef says, salute, fellas. What's up, brother? Thank you for tuning in from YouTube. Ryan said, my overreaction is Ron not fucking getting mad and busted balls. He has to show emotion. Yeah, he's pretty even-keeled these days, except when we win. It's kind of nice.
No, I disagree. Emotion is so overrated. You start yelling and screaming and rah, 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 rah. Unless that's just who you are.
Right. It doesn't get through.
It's disingenuous.
Emotional damage.
I don't think it gets through to players.
The enemy likes to yell and scream because that's who he is.
Yeah.
Let him do it.
It's not
Ron is not a yeller and screamer. If he starts doing it now, it doesn't make any sense, and people know it's a show.
He dropped the F-bomb to presser today.
Did you hear some of the stupid questions he was asked today?
Yeah, trolling.
How long of a reach are you going to have on Sam Howell?
So listen,
he says the dude's played 4 NFL games and he's won 3 of them.
Right. So my overreaction, of course. Remember, these overreactions are overreactions. There has to be no truth whatsoever. Mine is that Sam Howell's not the guy. I believe he is the guy. I truly believe that. And this is just one speed bump. We knew this was going to happen. We knew he was going to have a bad game. It was the people that propped him up on a pedestal, right? After 3 games, you don't put the P on a pedestal. They're right, Dev. We don't do it.
Yeah, don't put the pussy on a pedestal.
Just let him go. Let him progress. I know Ron's not playing like a man who is on a clock. Hence the reason why we're going with Sam. So my overreaction is Sam's not the guy. He is the guy in my heart. I'm just saying his overreaction. So Super Chef says, I watched the game off. Now, how did we respond? And that's what makes it most important. It's not how you deal with the adversity at the time. It's how you respond to the adversity afterwards. And thus far, Sam Howell has been known to respond very well. It didn't happen in the game like we thought, but let's take a bigger step back and see if he responds next week versus a huge opponent. Remember, when they opened up the Philly game just before we started this podcast, Jalen Hurts is 19-1 in his last 20. Guess who his one loss was to last year? I'll give you one guess. Yes. And who was under center?
Heineke.
Yes. His Jalen Hurts is 19-1 in his last 20, and he lost to us last year with Taylor Heineke. So it's a week-to-week league.
Just like that game, Brian Robinson was on under center.
He was. Just like Super Chef says, how we respond, it's on to the next week. Marcus says, one fan named Doug Appich said that Washington should call the Atlanta Falcons and trade for Heineke because Sam is not the answer. Dude, no.
Here's the thing. That's not one man that said that. I saw that a lot yesterday.
Called him out.
Let me tell you his whole name on there. Doug Appich. Doug
a bitch. Now,
Doug a bitch.
First of all, if Taylor Heineke is so good, how many passes has he thrown for the Falcons this year?
He can't beat out Desmond Ridder.
Maybe he's saying Desmond Ridder and Heineke are better than
Hadouken.
No. I love Taylor. Taylor will always have a place in my heart. But
he's got a place in
my closet too. Yeah. In my closet, yes. That ship has sailed.
Taylor Heineke. Let me tell you something. The people who love Taylor Heineke, it's funny because what has Taylor Heineke won?
The hearts and minds of this fan base for 2 years.
Well, the playoffs too.
That doesn't sound like a playoff win. Doesn't sound like a division. Doesn't even sound like a wild card.
That's called moral victory, and that don't go anywhere.
Moral victory is
Taylor Heineke is an example of he lucked and was put in a position to look better than he was by a different game plan than what any other quarterback was getting.
Right.
So why? Because he can't throw the ball, consistently well. So you limit the amount of times he throws, right? Why do you do that? Because he's a talentless hack. Okay. But he's lucked himself into a career as a professional football player. And I really feel like the people who really, really cape for him have really mediocre lives. And they see their hopes and dreams of being something better that they don't have the talent to get. Just like he really doesn't have the talent to be a starting quarterback, but he managed to do so. And if he can do it, I can do it too.
I love the Taylor Heineke story. I don't care. It's a great story.
Taylor Heineke should go back to his sister's couch.
No, it's a great story to be nothing and then to make it back to the league. Good for him. Now he's setting his family up for success in the future.
He has completely because his existence creates situations like what we're seeing now with the fan base.
I mean, so did Robert. So did Kirk. So
did Brisket.
So yeah, you can blame Jacoby Brissett.
Right.
Rivers says every
Redskins page
is an overreaction. These people bitch about players and coaches, even when we win. I didn't enjoy any minute of it. No excuses, but winning will bring the fans back.
Since we didn't have any expectation for Heineke, everything was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. Hey, next week we're going to be hearing this up in Philly. Just wait. And then maybe
Y'all
maybe
just played- you just
maybe
played
you'll
the
hear a
hits.
couple of those
You
too.
just played the hits with me. We bring up Heineke, and then we bring up the stupid howling thing.
That's called pushing Phil's buttons. Jay Martell, what's up, Jay? Taylor's eater pistol arm couldn't get it done in a clutch moment. We like to call that a noodle arm here on Command This, floppy
happy hand.
floppy noodle arms.
It's
Taylor,
an arm. It's an arm in need of Viagra.
With my
And
strong
Cialis.
hand.
yeah, can't say Taylor without the sound group. River says, I like Taylor because he killed it for ODU. Yep, he did great at ODU and he did good for us, but I agree. Bigger arm. Tim will be okay, just needs experience. And that's it. This is our 24-hour moments to bitch and complain, and then we're moving on to Philly.
Yeah.
So Ryan says, let's bring Kirk Cousins back next year.
I wouldn't be opposed to that if this don't work out. I ain't gonna lie to you. But if we're that bad, let's go get fucking Shadur Sanders or Caleb. Fuck all that noise. If we're that bad.
Comes out.
Sanders looked real good the other day.
I mean,
Actual
that's Colorado looked real bad the other day. You know what I'm saying? You could put Peyton Manning in Colorado.
Y'all got
Let it look like that.
Y'all got to wind back that Dion hype just a little bit. Damn, did you see what happened? In one weekend, we went from Colorado's greatest thing since sliced bread to Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, but you got to remember they're playing the long game.
Like
I think Dion's playing chess. Everyone else is playing checkers, man. He knows this. It's a recruiting thing. It'll get people there. He has 95% new roster.
I hate
the portals. Fuck the NCAA. That's whatever causes chaos in the second most corrupt organization in the world, which is the NCAA.
Now it's just the corruption's out in the open.
Yeah, them and FIFA are like neck and neck for corruption. I don't know who's worse, but
I don't know. FIFA has like drugs.
FIFA, yeah, FIFA has like dead bodies.
FIFA involved
murder and drugs.
Involves national governments.
Yeah, those people get like billions of dollars, build these stadiums, and they're never used again. The ones in Rio de Janeiro, you know what they use them for now? To house homeless people.
Yeah.
I'm talking $300 million stadium used for 2 weeks. Now it's used to house homeless people, which is great. But
that was the Olympics.
Ours is out on the street.
Their soccer stadium.
You know what I mean?
Those are the Olympics because the soccer stadiums get used all the time in Brazil.
I'm sorry, it's the Olympics. Either way, Chef said
the IOC is corrupt as well.
Yeah. I'm glad EB let Hal play the whole game. Yeah, I was contemplating, should we pull him? Should we take him? We don't want to get him hurt, but he needs the confidence. He needs to take his licks. So I'm also glad, like Super Chef said, that they let him continue the course. It's all part of the game, son.
If you're gonna prove your demand, you only come out because you can't play, not because you're having a bad day.
Yep. Okay, let's go. Lightning round for this one. Stock up, stock down. I'll start. Stock up. Brian Robinson. Stock down. Defense. Brian Robinson showed me everything. 10 rushes, 70 yards. And the defense didn't show me anything. So stock up, stock down. Dev, let's go to you.
Stock up, Tressway. It's just because I can't figure out anybody else. Stock down, Howell.
Stock down. Okay.
Easily for 4 interceptions. Taking a couple sacks that took us out of field goal possession.
Yeah.
For all we know, he was calling the wrong offensive line slides too. Right. I don't know. That's probably part of it also. So I'm going Hal.
All right, fair. Phil, stock up, stock down.
Stock up, Cameron Cheeseman. No botched snaps.
Yay, he did his job.
You didn't even trust him on the first field goal attempt. He didn't take. He should have when it was 10-0. They didn't even trust him.
Our long snapper.
Hey! You earn more snaps when you do your job.
By the way, Ron,
stock up on Cameron Cheeseman. Stock down on Eric Bieniemy.
By the way, Ron, you need.
I was not impressed by the total. Like you're effectively running the ball. Yeah. Let's throw it.
Wrong with that call on 3rd and 10 on a. Again, it's 10-0, not to kick the field goal and take
the points, man. Take the points. This ain't Madden.
Never pass up for show pussy for some no pussy. That's
right.
Look, they don't call him Riverboat for nothing.
That's right. Deuce from Red Zone in the Lab. Make sure you go check out Deuce, redzoneonlab.com, or his YouTube channel, Red Zone in the Lab. Deuce was on Bleeding Burgundy with Jesse and John and Scott and Keith and those guys earlier. Be sure to go check it out. So he said, keep him in. He made the mess. He cleans the dishes. That's right. Say, son, do your chores.
Yeah,
Do your chores. Marcus says, stock up, B-Rob, stock down our coaches. Dude says, Cheeseman, stock up, stock down, inhale. Yeah, that Gibson fumble was just, his fumbles just come at the worst times, man. I got a feeling that he's in the doghouse now. And then
No, Ron felt probably he was trying to make a play. I'm not going to be mad at him for trying to make a play. And he's spinning. He got out of one, he spun the second time, just lost the ball. He sounded like, man, I can't get mad at somebody trying to make a play. We down 30-something to nothing, man.
Listen, Chris Rodriguez is going to see the field soon.
He's already seen the field.
Yeah, he has. But if Gibson keeps, his leash is very, very short.
I don't know. Because Gibson only had one fumble all of last season.
Yeah, no fumbles last season.
He had one.
He had one.
But he had like 6 the year before. So I think that's significant progress. I mean, he touched the ball. He touched the ball over 200 times last season, had one fumble.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with Gibson for now because the first fumble he had this season, if you look, that was not on him. He actually had both hands on the ball. He had one hand ripped off the ball, and then the other hand came in, punched the ball out. So everything went on him.
It sounds exactly like it's on me. If anytime you have the ball, then somebody hits you and you don't have the ball, it's on you. I don't give a shit.
If you watch the fumble again, you realize that it was the defense made a great play there. Arizona's defense with their gang.
Why they always make a great play on him though?
No, they make great plays on their plays too. Did you see all the great plays the Buffalo's defense made?
No, I'm talking about fumble wise. How come he's the only one that has the problem though? Like no one else outside the quarterbacks. I don't count those guys. They fumble.
Well, the only one that look, realistically, the most likely people to fumble the ball are going to be quarterbacks and running backs, right? Brian Robinson does not lose the ball, period.
Right.
So
yeah. Super Chef says when they're going to realize Brian wants all the smoke.
Smoke weed every day.
He wants all of it. He says he survived a gun. Damn it, that's right. He said Gibby had no fumbles. Hey, Super Chef, just search for Antonio Gibson's stats. I'm looking it up right now. It says he had one fumble last season. He had 6 in 2021, 1 in 2020. So he had 2020 he had 1. 2021 he had 6. 2022 he had 1. In 2023 he's had 2 so far. 10 his whole career. So at least that's according to Pro Football Reference. But Ryan said, stock up B-Rob, stock down Gibby. We're about to see more Rodriguez. Yeah, I think it's coming. We'll see.
I don't think it's coming.
Dude said he wasn't running in traffic last year. When he runs in traffic, not protecting the ball, it's on him. He needs to keep the ball. Most running backs don't fumble the ball. Right. He did fumble last year, but recovered.
Now, let's back up, though.
He recovered.
Who was running in traffic for his first several games when Brian Robinson was out?
It was Gibson. He did well.
It's Gibby. So you can't say that.
He can do it.
Now, granted, 2 fumbles in 3 games is cause.
Hey, man, he just needs to quit fumbling. All this yip-yapping. He just needs to quit fumbling, man.
I like Chef's response, though. He recovered it, though, so it don't count. I do like that.
I guess that means that Sam's fumble from.
That's right, Chef.
It's like an abortion. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
hey, pregnant? No. What? What?
Are you kidding me? Come on, man.
That kid was digital. It didn't exist.
Oh,
and this is why we will never get invited to the cookout.
All right. Good, bad, ugly, great. Phil, let's start with you. Then we'll go Dev, and we'll go me. Spit it out.
After that game, good that we got this. The good is that we got this game out the way.
Yep.
Early, and it was against a team that we were not expected to beat.
Okay.
The bad was the defense on third down.
All right.
The ugly was the offense outside of one player. And the great was that one player, Brian Robinson.
Bet. For the record, to reinforce your stat, I'm trying to find the third down percentages here. Third down efficiency, we were 1 for 9 They were 9 for 15. I think a lot of those came later in the game when we
No, a
already.
lot of the misses. A lot of times they didn't do it. They were like 6 of 8 at one point.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Dev, what you got? Good, bad, ugly, great.
Great was the game being over.
Best part.
Yeah, that's the best part. The kneel down at the end. Ugly was man, the offensive line.
Yeah.
Bad would have been actually I take that back. Ugly was how bad would have been offensive line. Good would have been Robinson.
Yeah. That's fair. Okay. Rivers says, I like Gibson, but fumbles suck. Phoebe Rob, because once he starts cooking, he turns into a monster.
You know, Gibson only
pressure
fumbles on
off
like
of
big
Sam
plays too. He doesn't like ever get hit in the backfield and fumble. He's always after he's done.
That's what I'm saying. Like Leno and his sacks. Leno, although it might seem like his bad, his sacks just always come at the worst time. It's just like Gibson's fumbles. They just come at the worst.
Leno gives up sacks at the worst time. Wiley gives up sacks
timing,
all
bro.
the time.
It's just
pressures. I wonder how many pressures they got that up yet.
No, it's
pressures
tomorrow.
Wiley give up, man.
Tomorrow.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Kid. Well, is Lucas really that bad, bro?
I know. Like, is Lucas not better than Wiley? But I think it's the EB familiarity of Wiley.
Why wouldn't they put Cosme at right tackle and put Stromberg in at the guard or something? Then, if that's how they've been playing him all the time, anyways, like why wouldn't he just?
Cosme's doing pretty good at guard, though. Cosme's doing pretty good at guard, though.
I guess.
Super Chef says, "I love you guys. Great content. Thank you, sir.
Come for the sports, stay for the abortion advice.
We appreciate
We're gonna call it a fumble. We're not gonna call it an abortion.
Deuce says good was Slide, bad was EB, ugly linebackers with the safeties passing on the passing downs. Yeah. Marcus says good, Robinson, bad, how ugly, Andrew Wiley. My good is the running game. It was great. I mean, it was 10 for 70. We went away from it, which is the bad. My bad is EB going away from the run. Why not feed a guy just like Rivers was saying earlier and the rest of the guys? Dude was averaging 7 yards carry. Why did you go?
Yeah,
away?
he said that in the press conference. He's like, we could get the running game going. Like, what? Like, what did
you didn't get it going because you didn't do it, son?
It didn't fail once. I didn't see.
Not only that, but when they were feeding B-Rob, Gibson was getting good carries off of that in relief.
Yeah, they were running good. They should have ran 40 times. I mean, honestly, keep that motherfucker out the field, bro. I don't understand like what was going on in the game plan to begin with. Why didn't you just keep running out when it was 16-0, he had already thrown 2 interceptions. Why didn't you just keep running the ball? We actually
were lucky to be down 2 scores.
Up to 3 straight times and then pass for interception right afterwards.
Not breaking news, but from Deuce. Deuce has given us the pressures here. Let me zoom in. Oh, that's a phone. All right, here are the pressures for the audio crowd. Charles Leno and Sam Cosme versus Buffalo. 0 pressures, 0 hurries, 0 sacks. Sadiq, Charles, Gates, and Wiley. 10 pressures, 5 sacks, 3 quarterback hits.
But I wonder who was responsible? I mean, Wiley must have gotten 8 of those pressures, 3 of those sacks, 2 of those hits.
Probably.
Okay, so I wonder. There they are.
Right. PFF grades graded out how the Commanders O-line yesterday are. There you go. Charles Leno, no pressure, no sacks, no quarterback hits, no hurries. Sadiq, 3 pressures, 2 sacks, 0 quarterback hits, 1 hurries. Gates, 4 pressures, 2 sacks, 1 quarterback hit, 1 hurry. Cosme, see, I knew it. 0 pressures, 0 sacks, 0 quarterback hits, 0 hurries. And Wiley, 3 pressures, 1 sack, 2 hits, 0 hurries. Man.
I feel like he's got hit way more than 3 times, bro. I feel like
wait a minute, though. What about the other 4 sacks?
Well, they're probably credited. They're probably credited.
Got 1, and then Turner got 1.
They're probably credited to Sam. Like,
Rob got 1 for sure. Rob got 1 for sure.
Yeah, well, you have to wait. I can pull up the stats after this.
Let me guess. I bet you one of those that pressure that was on the interception, they didn't give to Wiley because they're like, shit, you weren't even close to him.
B
He's already bad
Rob
enough.
got one show though.
He has
And
to.
he quit. He quit.
Hey,
right
shout
after-
out
right
to
after.
Deuce. Thank you for sending me that on the get. Look at that, Johnny on the spot. He said Hal is credited with those, Phil. So yeah, so it sounds like the remainder are on
But B
Sam.
Rob
Is
didn't get
that with
credit
him
with
rolling
that.
out of the pocket, trying to get away from pressure? Probably.
B Rob didn't get credit with a set.
I don't know. Okay, game balls. You know who's getting?
Me for watching this motherfucker. Me, I deserve a game ball for having to watch it.
Dev gets his own game ball.
That's right.
Phil, are you gonna give away any game balls? And
No,
if so,
Brian Robinson gets a game ball.
Brian Robinson gets a game ball. Okay.
I don't get a game ball.
You don't
Bills
get a
fans
game
get a
ball.
game ball.
I was a very naughty boy on Twitter. And I'm going to say this. It's already a disclaimer on my Twitter, but I'm going to say this now. All statements and declarations by me, rightfully calling the idiots on Twitter what they are statements of my own and not necessarily the opinions of the command of this podcast.
I tend to agree.
For the
I say
record,
this because someone got so mad at me that they ran to Steve. He's telling you to stop.
no, he said, "Excuse me, is this how you represent and advertise your podcast?" And then he screenshots me Phil's antics on Twitter. I'm like, Phil's a big boy. You talk to him directly. Like, I'm not responsible for Phil's social media. Like, if you have a problem with him, just block him and move on. And he goes, "Oh, that's a great idea. How about I block you too?" And then he disappears.
Yeah, like
okay.
Steve's not my daddy.
Yeah, seriously. It's just
Here's the thing. Me and Steve are about the same height.
oh, man.
Steve got hands, but if I get inside, he's
Yeah.
done. So-
Okay. I mean, you know, you can't stop me from saying pussy and
I know
abortion on a
Steve's gonna be like,
podcast,
that ain't
man. I
happening.
mean, there's no way you can stop Phil on Twitter, you know.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, the guy
We're
sitting
all
there talking
adults.
about
It's just like ignore it. It's social media. Just keep scrolling. It's not that important. That's what it's for. It's for people to vent.
Shits and giggles.
the
Yeah.
guy literally was making up every excuse possible, and it's funny because he's like, "Well, why don't you just fly into the games?" I'm like, "Where are you from?" He goes, "Tallahassee." He's like, "Why don't you fly into the
What
game?"
kind of bank check he got? Bank account he got?
There's people that fly in. Look at LJ. She flies into every home game.
What's his name
You know what
flies
I mean?
into?
I
Mr. Titan, right?
specifically
Mr.
said
Titan
that.
flies in. Mr. Titan, shout out to Mr. Titan. He
I'm doing
flies
it.
into.
That's why we
Tennessee
going on
games
strike
every
at GM, man. I need enough money to go fly into the games. This is some bullshit.
Yeah. Phil, so are you giving out any game balls, Phil?
Brian Robinson gets a game
Brian
ball.
Robinson.
Oh.
He gets the game ball.
Nobody
I heard you say it the first time.
nobody
You wanted
else
to say
gets
you
one.
hit the balls button again, bro.
That's it. I just want to say hit a balls button again. That's
Hold
all.
on, I got one for you. How?
How?
You didn't hit the button, man.
I thought you said howl, not how. Oh, you know, I can't do that
I
without
said how, not how.
the howitzer. I gotta unload the howitzer, you know.
I
Game
like the-
ball for me. I'm gonna dig deep here. I'm gonna try to be nice and play within the rules that you can't give the same person a game ball. So, man, this one's tough. Man, I don't know if I have any game balls to give out, man. This one's tough. Game ball to the Commanders fans who showed up in the rain to cheer that team on. Shout out to you guys. It was good to see, the usual suspects in with the social media posts, the Command Corner tailgate, Red Zone the Lab, all the people, Juan and those guys and the Hog Farmers and shout out to you guys. You guys get the game ball. I have no game balls to give out on the defense. Thank you for trying. Maybe let's bounce back next time. Special teams. I'll give Cheeseman a game ball just because you guys, Phil and Deuce said he did well. I didn't notice because it was just not in my peripheral vision. But yeah, he can have one. So any other Deuce said the kid that ran out to get the kickoff block gets a game ball. The T returner kid gets a game ball.
Bills fans.
Yam said he had to dip out for class but came back. Did y'all talk about the O-line and Wiley being a joke? Yes,
Yeah.
sir. We
No,
certainly
we
did.
keep talking about it.
We did. Wiley gets one of
Fatality.
yeah. It's rough, and we posted the stats for pressures.
Wiley's brain and his feet were blue screening every play. It seemed like.
Yeah. No game ball for Tress. Yeah, that's a good one. Actually, Chef makes a good point. Joey Sly Granted, it's the only points we had.
He
He
didn't trust him to get the first kick.
nailed that kick, and then Rivers Reese said the same thing. Joey Slide got us the points. Yeah, you guys are probably right. I missed that one. I didn't even dwell on the fact that we got points. Yam says, the players have to get dejected seeing so many fans of the opposing repping in the stands. They're used to that, though. They saw week 1. They didn't see it week 3. So I don't know. Let's hope for the Bears game. It should be our homecoming game. It's not. It should be the homecoming game. We should destroy the Bears. It should be what we call a slump buster. If you ever played sports, it's just that one thing that gets you out of your rut. Sometimes it's a person. Sometimes it's a game against an easy team. But that should be the one.
I want violence. I don't want a 12-7 win like
Give me the smoke. Give me the smoke. Okay. Now Dev is going to give away his weekly Glock dookie. By the way, that's Dev's beat. Just like everything else on the show. All right, Dev. Who you giving a Glock Doogie Award to this week?
Easy choices. How? 4 interceptions, man. Took a lot of sacks. You've gotten 2 of these motherfucking awards.
Why did he get the other one before?
He got one the first one throwing 2 interceptions and a fumble, 4 touchdowns.
Oh man.
Yeah, you got to get 1 interception and a fumble, 4 touchdowns first game. You might be the first person to get 3. You know what I'm saying? You might be beating Shotgun's record for Glock Dookies. I don't know.
He needs to stop predicting Packers wins. I'm a little shocked that Wiley didn't get one. You chose Sam
you get the ball away 4 times, man, and you take a bunch of sacks that weren't on the line. He got the same amount of sacks on him as Wiley does, bro.
Yeah,
I would have.
I understand the run. He broke free. Then he got in the flat. And he could have slid. Then he kept running and got smacked up and hurt his hand. I'm giving you the Glock Dookie Award. I need a Hal to be more Team Wolf and less Scott Howard. You know what I'm saying? That's who he was. He was Scott Howard, which is Team Wolf when he's not Team Wolf. He's like Michael J. Fox now with Parkinson's. That's what he looked like. He didn't look like. That's too far. I'm sorry. Sorry, Michael J. Fox. I'm a big fan.
Pivot.
Family ties.
But
pivot.
I thought Wiley would have been a contender.
No way. Nah, man.
Yeah,
you throw the ball away 4 times, then you're the problem.
That's fair. Aaron said,
get another one, man. I'm going to start asking for brisket. No, I won't.
I think an honorary Glock Dookie should be fired at all the fans who sold their tickets and just didn't show up because of a little rain.
River said Scott Howard. Ha ha ha. Good one.
You didn't show up.
Scott Howard. Good one.
Who, me?
Yeah. Would you go to that?
I don't live in the DMV.
That's who I'm. Hey, that's your name from the rest of the until you redeem yourself for the 4 touchdowns. Hal, your name is Scott Howard, bro. You're a basic ass Team Wolf without the wolf. Basic ass Team Wolf, man. That's what you are, Scott motherfucking Howard.
Scott motherfucking Howard. All
That's
right.
gonna be you. That's your name. Instead of Devontae, you gotta earn Devontae back, bro.
Yeah.
You are now
Samuel Devontae Howell.
Samuel Scott Howard Howell, man. That's your name.
Yam says they figured out the puzzle like against Wentz last year. Just pressure on every play. The line can't hold, and the quarterback gets rattled.
Yeah, throw some screens, put some draws in there, run the ball.
But last year we had Scotty doesn't know Turner. This year we have Eric Bieniemy. I have confidence that Eric Bieniemy can coach around that. Now that you've seen the good, you've seen the bad. You see that the Eagles are winning 25-3. Put a game plan together. And let's take it to them in their own house.
Eric Bieniemy, the run game's my enemy.
The only thing that concerns me, another thing, anyways, that concerns me is that we didn't even move the pocket. Like I seen one play when we came out of halftime, he rolled out and threw a dart. That looked good. I've never seen it again. I've never seen him move the pocket again. I didn't see any draw attempts. I didn't see any. We did run 2 screens and it worked outside the dumbass fumble.
Wasn't there a news story this week?
There were no hitches.
The team was practicing draw plays.
There was no hitches to the receivers quick.
Yep. Man, y'all are spending some hours.
It just seems really weird. The offensive line was aggressive. We didn't even counter it. Like when our offensive line's aggressive, they counter it. You know what I'm saying? With the quick plays. Well, it seemed like we were just going through the motions of our regular stuff. It didn't wasn't working.
Yeah.
Then they stepped on our necks. We got the American History X curb stomp. in the fourth
Ooh,
quarter, bro.
with
Like,
the teeth.
yeah,
On the teeth.
we aborted a win there.
But listen, you know me. I'm an optimistic person. I try to find the silver lining. It wasn't against a division opponent. It was early in the season. It was against the Bills, who's a top
Right.
5 perennial team.
Yeah.
What better team to get curb stomped in against the Bills? Granted, you don't want to see it. I get it. But it wasn't Dallas. It wasn't New York.
No
It wasn't
Vaseline.
Philly. It wasn't even someone in the NFC. Take our licks early. Let's hope the team can be resilient, like a lot of people said. And let's respond. Let's respond on Sunday, man. If they do the same thing again on Sunday, then maybe we have something else to talk about. That's all I'm saying. And we'll preview that on Thursday. Not sure who our guest is going to be yet, but we'll have an Eagles guest on here Thursday.
It'll be Terrence.
To break this down. Yeah, it probably will be Terrence.
I'll be nice to Terrence. I
He's a good
can't
fan.
promise that with any other Eagles.
He's a good fan. I'll see if we can get Jimmy Kempsky on here too. He's not a big fan of the live stream, so
I like Jimmy.
Might be offline. We'll see.
I think that's a statistic where it's like 1 in 26 men get anally assaulted, and 100% of this chance.
Well, since should I show the pictures of the thumbnails that didn't quite make it into the?
Oh, you want to see the B-roll, the outtakes? So, but we're like 2 in 26 chances here in Washington against the Bills, man. Y'all need to.
Okay, so listen, for those who are still with us, yesterday we were toying around with, man, what should our thumbnail be for this show? We were coming up with different names. It was late. It was almost midnight.
Steve said butt sex, just like y'all know. That's what it is.
That was me.
We were trying to figure out, like,
I didn't use the word sex.
What should we show? What should we do? I'm gonna. Oh, it's probably we're the kings of no monetization, but I'm gonna show a couple of these pictures. We didn't know exactly the right term to use, but this one kind of came to this one almost made it. This one didn't quite make the cut. We're gonna call this one
wow. That's like an anatomy lesson.
Yeah. Hey. It's science. All right. It was science.
I would be scared to look at your Google history because that is.
No, it's fair. This one almost made it as well. Then we chose, cooler heads prevailed, of course. This was
oh no, I hadn't seen these, man. What?
Because you don't pay attention to the group chat.
You don't pay attention to the group chat.
My God.
So those also didn't
Oh
work.
my God.
Cooler heads prevailed. Those were just jokes.
But jokes we seriously considered for 5 minutes.
I kind of like this one. This one will still bust out later because we're still fans. We're here no matter what, right? Check this out. We're here no matter what. This was the silly side, and then I put.
I like the new Vaseline.
You got the score right on that one.
Yeah, and I really do is the sign that the little gnome is holding up. So this one almost made it.
You did like 4 of those today, by the way.
What's up?
I really did. Or
did it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did 4 of those today.
Yeah. So this one we'll probably bust this out later, but yeah, we're here no matter what. I almost did layups. We were talking about horseshoes and hand grenades, layups and laughs.
The no Vaseline was my biggest contribution to this.
Yeah, no Vaseline was going to work too. I don't think I downloaded that one.
Should have called it the Scott Howard edition.
Fair. Anyways, that's the unedited raw stuff that content creators go through behind the scenes, man. We toy around with ideas, and clearly those didn't make it, but we have Yam says the asshat doubles down on the Commanders being a bad team. Meanwhile, supporting every other DC
He's
sports
talking about
team.
Neil Greenberg.
Talking about Neil Greeny says the Bills are overhyped, and had the Commanders beaten them, it wouldn't have shown anything. The Bills are a top 5 team, man. What are you talking about?
I don't know, man. Maybe we're bottom 5
Neil
team.
Greenberg, asshat is a very appropriate term in the sense that it's not NC-17, which he really should be, what used to describe him. All done. But yeah, Neil Greenberg's an idiot. He really is. Like he there's it's proof that there's just no
yeah. Yam says, I'm an anime fan.
You
Don't
just stopped me with that
Don't
comment.
dare look at my browser history. That's the
Man, I feel like
the
that
hentai.
hentai going on.
Oh
over
my
there.
god!
That note. Let's hit the music.
Yeah, by the way, yeah, my sister is going to be in Okinawa next month.
Oh, there you go. That's right. We talked about that with Chad, who was a Marine who served out in Japan. Aaron said, "Where's Rod at?" Probably still wondering what happened to the Raiders last night, man. They had it. They were 23-15. Josh McDaniel decided to kick the field goal, take the point instead of going for it down in their red zone. I don't know what he was thinking, but I guess you need to present the possession anyways, and then couldn't pull it off against shit, who were they playing? Packers? Pittsburgh. Oh, Kenny Pickett, man.
That's right.
Kenny Pickett looked.
No, it was Packers. No, it was Pittsburgh.
No, Kenny Pickett looked pretty good, man. The Dolphins won. I haven't seen the one of Tua, but man, that offense explosive. Explosive. 7 touchdowns. 7 touchdowns. Jam says I foresee another 7-10 season. This game all but broke. Stay the course, Yam. Remember, Dev in the preseason did a full aggregate.
I'm still going 7.
He went in aggregate, just saying we're gonna win 7, and then we did a game by game breakdown, and I think that jumped up to what 10.
Well, I was influenced by drugs and alcohol at the time.
Oh man, so
I'm still going 7 wins.
One thing about this season compared to others that we know we're better than that. That's right. In the previous seasons, I agree. We didn't know what we had this year, but we got the talent, man. Just got to put it together. Dev Yam Sims, you got to be careful in Okinawa. COVID and flu still really bad. Plus a lot of foreign people pissing off Japanese folks. Rivers says Eagles are crushing the Bucks. D came to play 25-11 at the moment. I got a lot of Eagles players on my fantasy roster, so cool
AJ Brown
win. Yam says Eagles are going to crush us. Their pass rush is scary. That their front defensive line is like ours, except theirs just shows up on a weekly basis. We'll see. Quick screens. What is Eric Bieniemy going to do to get around that? We'll talk about more of that on Thursday as we preview this game, but I don't know what they're going to do to counter that. I have no idea.
Because the Eagles can't stop the run. Just run.
Run the dang ball.
40 times, dog.
Move the pocket.
Yeah, run the dang ball. That's right.
Run,
Aaron said
it
will come together. That's right. It will. Fellas, you got any shout outs before we transition out of here?
We lose tomorrow like that, the same way our next game, 30-something to this 3. I'm all in for Shedeur Sanders. I want to put that out.
Shedeur. I want to see what the rest
we go 4 interceptions again like that, man. I'm going Shedeur. Keep playing Hal though. Don't take him out. Keep playing him.
I want to see what the rest of the quarterback class looks like. There's always quarterbacks that emerge towards the end of the season.
Don't get Drake May though. I don't want that. That's just basically Hal. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out. You know what? Shout out to the super fans who showed up to the game. You know, all the hog farmers, LJ, all those people. You know, the ones who, and especially because a lot of them travel. You deserve better than what the local DMV gave.
It was alumni night too.
It was.
Shout out to the ones to the ones that travel to show up to games. I wish I could make them travel more. I'll be at a couple games, but
Deuce showed me this one. I want to show this one real quick. I didn't get to show this one earlier, but 9 sacks of Sam Howell's seconds in trouble or sack. Look at that. Almost all right around 3.
But you see, I'll bet you that includes the process of him getting tackled and then brought down and the whistle being blown too.
Yeah, it could be. I just want to throw this up
because I was doing the 1,000, 1,000. I tend to count that quick, and he was got guys in his face at 2 seconds.
Yeah, usually 3.5 is like the number to get the ball out, but if I felt like some of these plays were longer developing because he was holding the ball like 7-step drops. I don't know. Either way,
Brian O'Halloran used to work for the Washington Post, so he's going to shit on his team anyway because that's what they do.
Oh,
they deserve to get shit on, man.
One of those guys.
You should have to be 30-something to 3. You deserve to get shit on at home on alumni night. You deserve to get shit on.
Yam says it's the only team that scares me in our division. Talking about Philly, I hate admitting that. River says, shout out to y'all for doing this every Thursday and Monday, brother. Monday and Thursdays, twice a week for regular season games. So the grind is back on. The off season is over. We had our little vacations. We are back on it. Ian says, I pray when we get a stadium back in DC that will fix some of the attendance issues. It will. I just wait till I play the long game, man. It's coming. It's just still so early in the new process. We're 3 games into new ownership, and look at all the tremendous things that's already been improved. And I'm not a homer like that, but I can tell you,
I told y'all what I said at the beginning of the year, man. If we suck this year, it's gonna be real scary next year because everybody's a free agent. We got like 6 or 7 guys to start.
Yeah, we got the core though. Oh,
no, we don't. All of them are gonna be gone.
On defense,
no, man. Chase, Sweat, Curl, what's his face, Forrest. They're all free agents, bro. Free agent. That's like 5 starters on defense.
They'll keep some.
And Barton.
I will repeat myself. I will repeat myself with everything Dev's saying. Everything is awful.
Just imagine if you suck, then motherfuckers might not want to come back.
It's not gonna implode.
I like to know how all those guys end up in the last year of their contract in the same fucking year, dog. That's crazy. Every one of them. We're in the same last year.
It's just coincidence, drafting free agency.
No, that's not coincidence, man. You had 4 years to re-sign some of these dudes.
Yeah, but you only do it in the last year. You don't resign people 2 years into a contract unless you're Patrick Mahomes. It's just how it worked out.
Oh, no, I would have extended Young. I would have probably re-signed. You could have signed a Fuller back. You could have also gotten Cam out of the way last year.
Dude says, "Were you drinking, Phil?"
We're gonna, because I was completely sober during that game, dude. I don't believe that we're gonna blame one man for all of our troubles when we lose 37-3.
By the way, I want to blame 4 interceptions on him. Yeah, for sure. I ain't saying he's completely the fault, but he's at fault the most. You know what I'm saying?
He touched the ball more than anybody else.
Yeah. So don't turn it over. I mean, the other guy touched the ball the same amount of more times. He turned it over more than 4 times. No,
just put Brissett in.
No, I don't want to put Brissett in. I want to lose every one of these fucking games.
Fuck it.
I mean, that's
Deion's son going to be our savior.
Don't be mid.
The same treatment RG3 got.
Don't be mid. Either get me high or don't get me high. You know what I'm saying? Don't be mid, bro.
All in. Aaron says, "Fuck Philly."
Be great or terrible.
Yeah. Monday noted, River.
Glad that I know you're talking about the Eagles and not me, because a lot of people.
Oh, shout out to you, man. You sent me some mambo sauces, some Capital City mild and Capital City hot. It is great. I made my own mambo sauce. So I've never had it, so I just made
mumbo.
It's mambo. See, I put mumbo, but your
mumbo sauce. But because of some trademark issues, they start calling it mambo sauce. It's mumbo. All right.
Yeah, I just sent you the commercial stuff because I just wanted you to see what it's like. That's so in the grocery stores.
I went to work and I was talking to my friend he went to Howard, so he's from the area. Yeah, and I said, man, one of my podcast mates sent me some mumbo sauce, and he was like, "Do you see Capital City? Because that's the best one." I said, "Yes, he actually did." I didn't expect anyone to know what the fuck it even was. He's like, "Yeah, that's the best kind, man. I was going to tell you about that shit, but it's good, man. I like the eggs on my Wendy's nuggets."
Yeah, it's great on chicken.
It's best on chicken.
I fried some chicken and made some my own mumbo sauce, and it was really good. It's
good on ramen too.
I like a lot of fans in this house now.
It's great with wings.
Yeah, I fried some wings.
Yeah,
telling you. So I'm telling you, Dev. See, Dev, that's why you gotta come to DC.
Yeah,
get some mumbo sauce at one of these Chinese joints or at one of the soul food joints.
Yeah, like Dude says, it's not like the carry out though. Yeah. The best I had was I went to this motorcycle club anniversary at DC Army. It was 2016, and this I forget what I wish I could remember this restaurant. They were posted up inside and they were frying the chicken on the spot. Man, I wish I could remember it. It was a corner store
in the
Southeast. I know, but man, it was so good. But like you said, Dev, you can customize it how you like it. Yeah. Sweeter, hotter, more ketchup, less ketchup, more sugar.
I was impressed by my own shit.
Yeah. Deuce, like I said, Deuce is DC native. So when y'all come here, I got you. So yeah, I usually just get the stuff from the store. I have never tried to make my own. I just get it from the store.
It's really easy. It's like 4 ingredients or 5.
It's not a lot, but yeah. Yem says Sam Howell's been sacked on 15.4% of his dropbacks that year. That's number 1 in the NFL. True. Aaron says we got an easy stretch coming up. We do. So after the Philly game, which will be no doubt a very hard game, we got the Bears coming into town. Like I said, that should be your slump buster. We got Atlanta in Atlanta, which, Dev, if we're going to go to that game, you need to tell us. Then we got the Giants at Giants, and then back at Philly again, man. That is a little brutal sense. But remember, before we did all this, we said by the time we get to Chicago, we had to be 2-2, and we could be 2-2 going into Chicago.
That was my call. I said we would lose this.
We had to win 2 out of the first 4. We said that. We all said that. So we're doing it. Then after that, we got New England, Seattle, Giants, and then Dallas, Miami. Eesh, that'd be a little rough. But
by the way, y'all just need to buy and eat all the mumbo sauce you can. Not just because it's a DC thing, but DC's mayor, Bowser, has explicitly said that she finds mumbo sauce annoying. How are you gonna be the mayor of DC and say some shit like that?
I don't know.
I don't know who she is.
Yeah,
she wants to be a dictator. She's
the one that looks like the turtle from
No, that's from Chicago.
Horseman.
That's the one from Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Aaron says reload the Howitzer. That's right.
No, he got a new name, big dog.
You can't get one of those without one of these.
Oh man, he's Scott Howard. Samuel Scott Howard.
All right. Dude said she's from Uptown. We don't care. She's on the north side. All right. I want to give a shout out to everyone who jumped in the chat today. Excuse me. Deuce, Aaron, Yam, Rivers, Super Chef, tuning in along the way. Excuse me.
Shout out to Kurt Cabot. That's my boy.
Kurt. We had early on.
Joy.
We had Marcus. We had Ryan Elias, Jay Martell popping in. We had Jay Nash from Facebook. We had Ben Harlow, Jason Donaway, all chiming in, man. The chat was very, very good today. Kurt, like Phil said. So thank you for tuning in. We will be back on Thursday, same time, 8:30 for another live stream and previewing the Eagles game. So bring your popcorn, bring your drinky drinks, bring your whatever you want to bring on Thursday. And you can find this podcast on any of your audio podcast platforms. Clearly, if you're watching this now, we're on YouTube. Please hit that like button or dislike. Either way, pushes the algorithm. Thank you very much. Any closing thoughts, fellas?
Somebody wants some wings and some mumbo sauce.
That's right. I do. Some Hooters wings and some mumbo sauce. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We really appreciate it. We'll be back Thursday.
Die Eagles die. That's my
One more comment. Aaron said, "Nah, it's not that bad, man. We can get it done." Dallas Giants beats Eagles once in Atlanta. That's right. It's a week-to-week league, man. You're never out of it. Never out of it. Reaver says, "Cheers, dudes. Talk to you on Thursday." Yam says, "I'm gonna make wings this weekend." Do it.
I'll make some wings too again.
Do it. All right. We love you guys. As always. Peace.
Peace out.
And hail. We out. Cheer.